Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Sunny D Light, and I'm back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about Mama's House series part 5. But before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you for coming here, clicking on the video. If you would drop a comment and drop a like, I would really much appreciate that. It helps me out, it helps my channel out. And if you drop a comment, it gives me more interaction with my viewers. So tell me what you like about the video, tell me what you don't like. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about part 5 of MawMaws House series. And this one is a trip. Pun intended, very much. This is the next big event that happened over at MawMaws House and followed part 4. And you might be asking, well, Sonny, why is it another acid story? Well, I'll tell you. Acid is a fun ass drug. And I had a period of about a week or two, or like 2 weeks in 2019 where I just smoked and dropped acid like throughout that whole time, like every single day. It was horrible, but I don't regret it. It was pretty good, and I mean, yeah, it kind of mentally scarred me, but at the same time, I learned a lot from it because I usually do acid and I'll like meditate and think on life and everything, but not really during that week or two because I was really just dropping it to like watch stupid shows and trippy shows and all that shit. Anyways, this started out as a normal day in June. I probably had like 7 or 8 tabs left, and I decided, yo, I'm gonna take 3 of these and walk around at the park behind my house. So I head outside with my tabs in my pockets and good old Black and Mild. You know, I was on probation at the time, so seeing me with the Black and Mild was kind of common. But like I said, I'm outside and I light up this stove, and it's like 8:30 p.m. Just keep that in mind, 8:30 p.m. Now about 10 minutes later, I'm already at the park, but there's this huge like ravine or ditch. It's the size of a football field, and I'm getting ready to walk around it. So I think to myself, hey, this is a great time to pop these tabs. So I'm already outside when it hits me, just common sense. Like, hey, I'm gonna pop this tab and I'll be walking around on this football size basically field, and by the time it starts hitting me, I'll still be walking around, I'll be in nature. Perfect trip scenario. Now, this seemed to be my downfall because at 8:40 p.m., Cody calls me and he's like, "Yo, I got some bud and we can smoke at Mama's tonight." And now I'm debating in my head, do I even go? Like, do I go even though I'm already like 30 minutes away from tripping, or do I just make up an excuse? And of course, me being me, I'm just always gonna want to chill with the homies. So I say yes and do the dash. I hit the sprint back to my house to ask for a ride over there. And my dad says yes, but he takes about 20 minutes to get ready, and it's a 20-minute drive. So remember, just keep that 8:30 p.m. time. It's really like 8:40 now. Keep that in mind. So 9 o'clock rolls around, and I'm headed to Mama's house. Now, if you remember, I said, keep in mind, it was 8:30, 8:40 when I popped these tabs. That's because them shits were hitting my ass in the car with my dad. Worst situation possible. And it was like a super slow kind of come up. Like I started seeing the radio get kind of brighter and start wiggling around. And then halfway there, I'm looking over at my dad, and his shirt is morphing or like melting off of his skin. So I'm texting Cody and I'm just saying like, "Yo, man, can I get some water when I get there? I'm already tripping balls next to my dad." And he just sends me back like 8 million skull emojis. I'm over here in the car like, okay, I gotta do my best sober face. At least pull that amount of energy together to keep my face looking sober. So at least when he does look at me or tell me bye, I can look somewhat sober. And I remember when he dropped me off, it was just horrible. He was like, "Bye, son," and I was just like, "Yeah." So I'm on my way to Cody's, just totally tripping balls next to my dad, which isn't that big of a deal since he grew up in the 60s, 70s, but come on, still. I don't want him seeing me all tweaked out. But I would say around 9:30 or so, we get there, and Cody's outside when I get there. We dap each other up, and it's a great time. Not so much to say about the smoke sesh other than we just kept laughing, or at least I was laughing my ass off at every little thing because if you've ever done LSD, you know it gives you like this little stage in the first 2 hours where you get the giggles. Well, actually, hold on. That's not true because I do remember we smoked twice, and the second time was late, like around 11, and we went back out. And I remember looking at this golf course, and it looked like an airplane strip to me. Like it would take me a whole year to get from one side to the other. And I mean, at 11, I'm already tripping balls, and the visuals are fully kicked in at this point. And this is where it gets fucked, ladies and boys. We finish this blunt, and I asked Cody if I can use the demon room to chill before I go home. And that shit made my trip so much worse. I don't know why I ever kept going into the demon room while I was tripping over there throughout this series and other videos, but it just always gave the worst vibes. And if you have negative thoughts and energy on acid, it feels like you just took 10 more tabs basically. So at midnight, I decided it because I'm not feeling any better, and I intended to let the trip run its course some more before getting home. But that plan went to shit. And Cody's like, hey, I don't have a whip right now, but I can get you an Uber. And I said, yeah. But I would have said no if I knew how horrible this drive home was going to be. So Cody orders me this Uber, and no hate on this lady, doing a good service always. Always tip the Uber driver and say thank you. If you don't, horrible person that you are. But when Cody showed me the picture, I just died laughing because the acid had her face doing that shit that one painting of Squidward does. You know, the one that looks like Picasso or whatever the fuck it's called, where it's like skinny then fat. And I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just dying at this. And it's a good 10 minutes of Cody looking at me and going, "Nightmare, nightmare, 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 nightmare," just while we're waiting for the ride. Because the last trip in the previous video, we had talked about our trips afterwards, and I told Cody that for me it was pretty much basically just someone yelling nightmare. Little inside joke, but you'll hear it throughout future videos, so it's good to know. Now, once this Uber got there and picked me up, if you've ever seen that Family Guy episode where Brian's tripping on shrooms and how Lois sounded in that part, that's how this Uber driver sounded to me. Every time she would talk, like it was just like demonic, basically. So I apologized, and I told her I was gonna listen to some music to calm down. She said, "All right, go ahead, no big problem." Well, I turned on some classic Kid Cudi, and basically started lucid dreaming in the back of this lady's car because I distinctly remember her saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go inside this gas station," and then I also remember after that we were in a fast food line or something, and I don't know if she asked if she could do this, and I said yeah because I was lucid dreaming off the acid, or if I was just fucked up and made this all up in my head. But I got home around 1:30 a.m., and I know it doesn't take an hour 30 to get from my place to MawMaws. But anyways, aside from the creepy and super weird Uber trip, I got home and stayed up watching Workaholics and Adventure Time, and probably YouTube as well. Just anything that's fun to watch while you're on psychedelics, basically. Because if you don't know, while you're on psychedelics, I mean, at least for me, usually I want to turn on YouTube or Workaholics or some show that's like either about drugs or it just like it's weird, like regular show or Adventure Time, where it kind of makes you think, and then you can go outside later on and just kind of meditate on like what you saw, and then kind of try and compare it to your own life. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's pretty much the story, guys. I know this story is a bit shorter than the rest of the Mama series, but if you liked it, drop a like, drop a comment. Tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what you'd like to see in future parts. Any suggestions, advice for videos, let me know about that. And sub if you aren't subbed. It only takes a second, and you never know. You might like and enjoy the content here. Anyways, guys, it's been your boy, Sunny D Light. Peace. Have an excellent day.